Hello future engineers, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're still new to my channel and you like what I'm doing, please don't forget to share my videos to your friends and to your friends' friends. To your younger brothers and sisters who would want to take up engineering in the future, and to your relatives. That's one way you can keep me going, inspired and refreshed. Now, if you find my videos interesting and important to your studies, also please don't forget to subscribe. Hello future engineers, subscribers, viewers, and students. Here is another video in calculus. I hope that this will help you in your preparations to engineering life. In a certain country, income tax is assessed as follows. There is no tax on income up to $10,000. Then any income over $10,000 is taxed at a rate of 10% up to an income of $20,000. Any income over $20,000 is taxed at 15%. So how much tax is assessed on an income of $14,000 and on $26,000? So for the solution, tax is zero point 0.1 of I minus 10,000. This is for $10,000 less than equal to I, and I less than equal to $20,000 as in the figure. So for the first part, since the income is $14,000, then this falls between $10,000 to $20,000. So the $10,000 should be taxed at 10%, or $4,000 should be taxed at 10% because this is between $10,000 and $20,000. So tax equals zero point 0.1 of 10,000 plus 0.15 of I minus 20,000 for the second part. But for the first part, it is just uh, zero point 0.1 of 4,000. So this is the formula for income greater than 20,000. So tax at $14,000 is zero point 0.1 of $14,000 minus $10,000, the formula there. So tax of 14 is $4,000. While for the second part, since this is greater than $20,000, and we use this established formula here, so tax at $26,000 is 1,000, zero point 0.1 of 10,000 plus 0.15 of 26,000 minus 20,000. So only the amount that is exceeding $20,000 should be taxed at 15%. So it is equal to $1,900. We define an even function as one that satisfies the equation f of negative x equals f of x. Its graph is symmetric about the y-axis. Examples of even functions are f of x equals x squared, because if you replace x by negative x, it is still x squared. So f of negative x is f of x. G of t is t sine of t, because negative of t is negative of t, and sine of negative t is negative sine t. Remember that sine function is add. So negative t times negative sine of t, if you replace t by negative t, is positive t sine t. So it does not change. So that's why it is an even function. Another function, and I hope that you learned this from in trigonometry, you observe the graph of cosine function. It is symmetric with respect to the y-axis. In fact, when x is 0, cosine of 0 is 1, cosine of negative pi over 2 is 0, cosine of pi over 2 is 0. So that's why the graph of cosine uh, x is symmetric with respect to the y-axis. So it looks like this between negative pi over 2 and pi over 2, and it is 1 at x equals 0. H of t is t cubed tangent of t, because negative t cubed is negative t cubed, tangent of negative t is negative tangent t. So that's why negative t cubed times negative tangent t, it will go back to t cubed tangent of t. Tangent function is also add function. So odd times odd is even. The graphs of even functions are symmetric with respect to the y-axis or the vertical axis. So look at the following graphs of even functions. So this is a parabola. For example, y equals x squared, x squared, and this graph here, which is symmetric with respect to the y-axis. So these are graphs of even functions. Therefore, in general, if f of x is a comma b, then f of negative, if f of a is b, then f of negative a is also b in general. An odd function is one that satisfies f of negative x equals negative of f of x. So its graph is symmetric about the origin. So examples of odd functions are f of x equals x cubed, g of t equals t cosine t, f of x is tangent x, h of t is t squared sine of t. The graphs of odd functions are symmetric with respect to the origin. So example, if you replace x by negative x cubed becomes negative x cubed. So f of negative x is negative f of x. So that's why this is an odd function. Negative t times cosine of negative t, cosine is even. So negative t times cosine of positive t, it will become g of negative t becomes negative t cosine t. So it is f of negative t equals negative f of t. So that's why it is an odd function. F of x is tangent x. Tangent of negative x is negative tangent x. That's why it is odd. H of negative t is negative t squared, so it remains t squared, but sine of negative t is negative sine t, so it becomes negative t squared sine t. So h of negative t is negative h of t, so that's why it is odd. To see the graph of odd function, it is symmetric with respect to the origin. So example of that graph would be this. So that there is a point here on the opposite side from the origin, there is also that point. And that distance to that point is equal to that distance also. So let's have this example. Given the graph shown, decide whether each function is even, odd, or neither. So we have four graphs here. For function f, we observe that it is symmetric with respect to the y-axis. Therefore, f is even. For this function here, g, it is also symmetric with respect to the y-axis. So g is even. For function h, it is symmetric with respect to the origin. So you look at the points. So therefore h is odd. Then lastly, this function here s, although there is corresponding point on the other end, but the y value is not the same. Therefore, it is neither. It is neither. Should this point of intersection of graph S is at the origin, then this should be an odd function. But because it is on the y-axis, not the origin, so that's why it is neither even nor odd. Then we have this another problem. Determine whether f is even, odd, or neither. So f of x is x to the negative 2. So these are the different functions, f of x. So let's evaluate first by testing f of negative x. So for part A, we write that as f of x equals 1 over x squared. And we replace x by negative x. And since it does not change, then it is an even function. F of negative x is just 1 over x squared, so it is an even function. Part B, f of x is x to the negative 3 or 1 over x cubed. replacing x by negative x, then it becomes negative of 1 over x cubed. So f of negative x is negative of f of x. Therefore, part B, f is odd. Part C, f of x is x cubed minus x. So f of negative x is negative x quantity cube minus quantity negative x. It becomes negative x cubed plus x squared. So f of negative x is negative of quantity x cubed minus x. So therefore, f of negative x is negative of f of x. Therefore, it is odd. Part D, f of x is sine x cosine x. So f of negative x is sine of negative x cosine of negative x. Since sine of negative x is negative sine of x and cosine of negative x is just cosine of x, because cosine is even, sine is odd. So this is negative sine x cosine x, f of negative x. So f of negative x is negative of f of x. Therefore, it is an odd function. F is odd. E, f of x is x squared plus x. So f of negative x is negative x quantity square plus negative x. So it is x squared minus x. Therefore, f in part E is neither odd nor even. Then f of x is x to the fourth minus 6x squared. So f of negative x is negative x quantity to the fourth minus 6 times quantity negative x squared. So it remains x to the fourth minus 6x squared. So f of negative x is equal to f of x. Therefore, the function in part F is even. Then G, f of negative x is 3 times negative x cubed plus 2 times negative x quantity squared plus 2. So this becomes negative 3x cubed plus 2x squared plus 2. So it changes, but f of negative x is neither f of x nor negative of f of x, therefore it is neither. And finally, f of x is x cubed secant x. f of negative x is negative x cubed secant of negative x. This is negative x cubed. Secant of negative x is secant of positive x, because this is 1 over cosine of negative x and cosine is even, so its reciprocal secant is also an even function. So this becomes negative x cubed secant of x. Therefore, f of negative x is negative f of x. So the function in H is odd. So that's it for this video. I hope that you learned something, especially for odd and even functions. Important also in definite integrals, and also important in graphing, techniques of graphing later. So this is the continuation, because I mistakenly stopped the video in the earlier slides. So this is the last part. If the point quantity 6 comma negative 4 is on the graph of an even function, what other point must also be on the graph? So if the point 6 comma negative 4 is on the graph of an odd function, what other point must also be on the graph? So for the first question, what other point must also be on the graph? Since the graph of an even function is symmetric with respect to the y-axis, their y-coordinate must be the same, but their x-coordinate must be of opposite sign. So negative of 6. So the other point on the graph of an even function is negative 6 comma negative 4. Then for part B, the point 6 comma negative 4 is on the graph of an odd function. What other point must also be on the graph? So if we have 6 comma negative 4 here, directly opposite to the origin would be negative 6 comma the positive of this value. So it should be negative 6 comma 4, the other point on the graph of an odd function. So that's it for this video. I hope that you understood the explanations.